Many thanks. Mr. Chairman of GT Board, dear Pierre-Étienne Franck, Mr. CEO of the Air Liquide Company, dear Benoît Potier, Mr. Directors of Commission, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the GTI President and the GTI Director, Bert de Colvener, for their kind invitation to participate to the General Assembly of Fuel Cell and Hydrogen GTI. The world has to deal in the next decades with an expected increase of the energy needs, despite all the efforts we have to do for better energy efficiency and for large energy saving in the advanced economies. In fact, let's think about that if we offer the possibility of an average of 2.5 tons of equivalent of oil per year and per person for the 9 billion of inhabitants expected by 2050 in the world, that is to say, half of the energy consumption per inhabitant today in Europe, we will have to increase the supply from 13 billion of tons of equivalent of oil per year today to nearly 23 billion of tons, which means an increase of plus 75%. And so you see people in the world, some of them are consuming as high as 8.1 tons of equivalent of oil per year, while other is 0.1, 0.2. So we need to reduce the one which produce more, which consume more, and help the one which produce less, will consume less. In Europe today, as you know, energy supply rely on the fossil fuel mainly, and at over 75% of its primary energy consumption, and worldwide it is over 82%. Such a massive use of fossil fuels is not sustainable, since beside of the depletion of the fossil resources, such use has a strong increasing negative impact on the environment, on the climate and the public health, and also on the economies of many countries like France, which has no more fossil fuel resources and must import this material at an always more expensive price. In 2011, fossil fuel import in France represent an expense 3 times larger than in 2005, which means 62 billion of euros, and which represent 90% of the French trade deficit. For all these reasons, the substitution of the fossil fuel consumption as soon as and as large as possible with CO2-free energy sources must be the world's top priority. It is the meaning of the energy transition decided by the French President, Monsieur Hollande, very recently. And for that, the government proposed an increase of the use of the electricity in France, and this electricity will have to be produced mainly by renewable energies, and so it is why we will have in some way a mechanical reduction of our electricity produced by the nuclear energy and an increase by renewable in the next few years. Unfortunately, and despite the Kyoto Protocol and many other political international statements, the CO2 emission increased by more than 40% between 1990 and 2009. And the trend is hard to curve down, as you know. We need altogether to develop alternative solutions beyond energy saving, improve efficiency, to substitute by other technologies that presently use fossil fuels. There are not many possibilities beyond renewable, as you know, and nuclear energies. The renewable energies sources are quite attractive, and indeed they assure the whole energy supply of humanity till the early 1800s, but with the present population and society organization, large urbanization, intensive industrialization, it requires now specific development in terms of production efficiency, storage capacity, reliable large grids and connection infrastructure, not speaking the intelligent one, since renewable energies produce mainly intermittent electricity. To substitute fossil fuel, special emphasis has to be made on transportation sector and housing. Transportation is quite, right now, oil addict, and its greenhouse gas emissions are increasing continuously. Progressive electrification of cars is one solution to this challenge of fossil fuel substitution, with the alternative to use either electrochemical storage with batteries or chemical storage with hydrogen. Hydrogen is a wise and performing means of storage of electricity energy. This is a privileged vector to supply electrical vehicles equipped with fuel cells. Hydrogen coming from electrolytic water splitting will allow a better use of the nuclear and solar and wind energy by the transformation of this electrical energy in H2 chemical energy, more easily storable and directly usable, for example, for the optimized production of second-generation biofuels or refining application, and directly in a mix with natural gas, as you know. Hence, this is an efficient, large-scale way to store the available electricity coming from nuclear and renewable energies once the priority needs are fulfilled. The CA R&D strategy focuses on the pre-industrialization of various technological bricks to allow, with experimentation, a better qualification of the systems. Two main fields are right now aimed to the production of hydrogen by renewable energies for transportation, industrial use as electricity storage, and grid balance. Accompanying the increase of the renewable energy share, the hydrogen appears as a mean adapted to mitigate some energy intermittence, as I said. The technologies of green production and storage of hydrogen becoming more and more mature, the first experiments have already been launched, as you know. Second is the development of the fuel cell presently on niche market, especially in the transportation sectors, before the development of cars mass markets. Beyond the role of showcase, these niche markets allow to integrate the technologies to support the industrialization on small series and to convince of the profitability of the technologies and also the public about the safety you could use hydrogen. Our objective is to strengthen the economic interest of this energy vector and for the CEA to be performing in the knowledge of hydrogen technologies to support industry at the appropriate time. CEA is strongly committed in the joint undertaking, GTI-FCH, in its governance through energy, association gathering all research center and university, through its commitment in the member state representing, but also through its strong participation in the JU research project. CA is one major European research actor in this field. After near 6 years of operation, GTI showed its successful capability to manage a near €1 billion program with a very high quality cooperation between industry, research, and the Commission. It should be an example for other PPP, private-public partnership, as we said. CEA is also involved in French association AF-IPAC to develop and promote all these technologies in France with French industry and especially Air Liquide. I would like to stress out the key and strategic role played by Air Liquide in the promotion of hydrogen at national, European and international level. Together, Monsieur Potier, Air Liquide and CEA agree to promote the proposal of a second GU for 2014-2020 in the frame of Horizon 2020, taking into account, of course, all lessons learned from the first experience. And I am very pleased to learn yesterday that, the debate within the European committees has decided simplification on the process of Horizon 2020, and so we strongly support these moves. Impressive progress realized these last years on hydrogen and fuel cell technology, thanks partly to GTI project, could allow to envisage a starting point of infrastructure deployment and cars commercialization from 2014-2020 really. The second GTI will allow supporting for R&D and demonstration side this period of pre-commercialization. It will facilitate also the development of an industrial chain in Europe and in France too for the early and starting market I mentioned earlier. In order to succeed in the deployment phase in the local territories, and at this point I would thank Monsieur Senator Jean-Marc Pastor from Tarn region for his strong commitment in hydrogen and his setup parliamentary commission in order to listen to the best vision we could have in this respect. We need strong coordination between different geographic level up to regional level, but also a strong partnership between industry, commission, member state and financial world to find a profitable business case on a long-term period with the full trust of the public opinion. Such coordinated program will bring one part of the solution to the big challenge of Europe in energy and environment. I wish you could contribute to, and I thank you very much for your attention.